Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we've got an intermediate level lesson for you guys. Now, Marco, what are we talking about today?
That's right. Today we're going to try to buy a new car. So we're going to the car dealer, and we want to try and see if we can get a new car.
Okay, so lots of great vocabulary for buying that car. Let's check out today's dialogue. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi there. I am looking for a new car. I have this old Ford Pinto that I would like to trade in.
I see. You are in luck this month because all of our 2010 models are on sale. It is a perfect time to buy a new car since it's the end of the year.
Perfect. I like this one.
That is the Ford Focus, a very light but powerful vehicle. It comes with dual-side airbags, power steering, and power windows, tinted windows, and your choice of either automatic or manual transmission.
Sounds like a good car. How many miles to the gallon?
It is a very fuel-efficient vehicle, giving you about 34 miles in the city and 40 on the highway.
That is really convenient, especially now that fuel prices are so high. What's under the hood?
A very powerful 2.5-liter turbocharged engine. Trust me, this car is fast.
Now for the most difficult question. What is the price tag for this lovely vehicle?
Very affordable, ma'am. You can take it out of this lot today with 0 down payment and no interest for the first year. You can test drive it now and we can sign the papers when we get back.
Great. Let's do it.
All right, we're back. So now we're going to take a look at some of that vocab, especially the one that the salesman used on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so at the beginning of this dialogue, we hear a lot of features that this car has. The first one is trade in. Actually, this is something that the man says when he goes to the car lot.
That's right. He says he has an old car. He has a Ford Pinto, and he wants to trade it in. He wants to trade in his old car.
So this is something that you do in America or in other places when you have a car already, but you want a new car. And so the car lot, the place where you can buy the cars, they'll usually give you some money for your old car, and you can spend that money on your new car.
That's right. So basically you give them your old car plus some extra cash, and then you can get a new car. So that's basically what a trade-in is. And, well, as you said, we had a lot of features on this car, the Ford Focus. First of all, dual-side airbags.
Okay, so dual side is pretty simple. It means that you have them on both sides, the left and the right. Dual means two. But airbags are what's important in this phrase. Airbags do what exactly, Marco?
They protect you from hitting the front part of the car. So maybe out of the steering wheel, a bag will inflate if you crash, so it will prevent you from hitting the steering wheel and getting hurt.
It's like a big balloon, and it protects you from damaging your body.
That's right. So it has 2 airbags for the passenger and for the driver.
All right, so after that, we also heard about a number of things that are power. Power steering, power windows. So what does power steering do?
Power steering, or also called assisted steering, it allows you to turn your car with less effort. So maybe you've driven a car that didn't have power steering, and so you really have to struggle when you're turning the car, especially if you're parking.
So you have to turn the wheel and turn it to turn. But power steering makes it more automatic.
That's right.
So it's very easy to turn left or right.
That's right. And the same thing goes for power windows. So maybe your car doesn't have electric windows, so you do it manually with a little lever.
You have to turn it around and around and around. But instead, with power windows, you just push a button, and the window goes down or up.
That's right. And actually, as well, another feature for the windows, we have tinted windows.
Now, these are sometimes very popular. I don't think I've ever had tinted windows on my car, but tint means something is darker. It's protected from the sun. So tinted sunglasses, for example, can be very dark. But tinted windows on a car are black. They don't let much sunlight in, so you don't get blinded by the sun, or so other people can't see you from outside.
Usually limousines, you will see all limousines have tinted windows.
Politicians like to drive around in cars with tinted windows.
That's right. Okay, so a lot of features there, a lot of vocab regarding the car. Why don't we take a break? Let's listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back to talk some more.
Hi there. I am looking for a new car. I have this old Ford Pinto that I would like to trade in.
I see. You are in luck this month because all of our 2010 models are on sale. It is a perfect time to buy a new car since it's the end of the year.
Perfect. I like this one.
That is the Ford Focus, a very light but powerful vehicle. It comes with dual-side airbags, power steering, and power windows, tinted windows, and your choice of either automatic or manual transmission.
Sounds like a good car. How many miles to the gallon?
It is a very fuel-efficient vehicle, giving you about 34 miles in the city and 40 on the highway.
That is really convenient, especially now that fuel prices are so high. What's under the hood?
A very powerful 2.5-liter turbocharged engine. Trust me, this car is fast.
Now for the most difficult question. What is the price tag for this lovely vehicle?
Very affordable, ma'am. You can take it out of this lot today with 0 down payment and no interest for the first year. You can test drive it now and we can sign the papers when we get back.
Great. Let's do it.
All right, we're back. So now let's start again with language takeaway. Now let's take a look at part 2.
Language takeaway.
All right, so a very, very key phrase that we heard in the dialogue is automatic or sometimes manual transmission. So automatic transmission, manual transmission.
That's
this is
right.
very important when we talk about cars.
That's right. So basically the car has a lot of gears, and with an automatic transmission, the car will basically change gears by itself.
Right, so you start in park and you go to drive, and you can go to reverse, park, drive, reverse.
That's right.
This controls kind of the way the car moves. But with a manual transmission, this means you have to do it by yourself using your hand. So we have what gears? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes 5.
That's right. So that's a manual transmission. You have to change the gears manually.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Now, talking about another feature of the car, the client asked, well, how many miles to the gallon does the car get? And the salesman said that the car is very fuel efficient.
Okay, so this is a very important phrase right now as gas is very expensive in some parts of the world and we're concerned about the environment, right? So a fuel-efficient car is a car that uses gas very well. That means that I can go very, very far on one tank of gas. I don't need to keep putting gas into my car.
That's right. So usually, for example, sports cars are not fuel efficient.
Hummers are not fuel efficient.
That's right.
So fuel efficient is a key thing to look for these days, but the customer also wanted to know what's under the hood. So this phrase, under the hood, is very, very common when we're talking about cars.
That's right. The person said, what's under the hood? And basically what we're saying is, what is under the hood, which is that metal cover on the front part of the car. So you lift that and there you can have access to the engine. So basically that's the question.
What kind of an engine does this car have? Oftentimes when your car stops or you have a problem, like it's broken, someone like a mechanic will say, hey, let's have a look. Let's look under the hood. He wants to know, let's look at the engine so we can find the problem. But in this case, it's not a problem. He just wants to know, what kind of a car is this? Is it powerful or is it not so powerful?
That's right. That's exactly right. So that's why we want to know what's under the hood. And well, he goes on to explain all the features about the engine. But then when we talk about the payment, how much the car costs, the salesman said, you know what? It's not expensive. And on top of that, you can drive it out today with 0% down payment.
Okay, this is important. Down payments are payments that you often make with very, very big ticket items, a house, a car, things like this. So a down payment is what you have to pay to get the thing.
To begin using it, but not all of the payment, right?
Right, so it's a percentage. So if the car is $10,000 and the man says there's a 0% down payment, how much do I have to pay, Marco? Zero. I don't pay anything today. I pay in a month a little bit, and then next month a little bit. But if the payment is a 10% down payment, then I have to pay $1,000 today.
That's right. So, as you said, it's usually about things that have a big price tag, that are very expensive. A house, a car, these types of things, usually you need to give a down payment.
That means that you're committing to buying it.
That's right. So a lot of interesting things going on in today's lesson. Why don't we listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back to talk some more.
Hi there. I am looking for a new car. I have this old Ford Pinto that I would like to trade in.
I see. You are in luck this month because all of our 2010 models are on sale. It is a perfect time to buy a new car since it's the end of the year.
Perfect. I like this one.
That is the Ford Focus, a very light but powerful vehicle. It comes with dual-side airbags, power steering, and power windows, tinted windows, and your choice of either automatic or manual transmission.
Sounds like a good car. How many miles to the gallon?
It is a very fuel-efficient vehicle, giving you about 34 miles in the city and 40 on the highway.
That is really convenient, especially now that fuel prices are so high. What's under the hood?
A very powerful 2.5-liter turbocharged engine. Trust me, this car is fast.
Now for the most difficult question. What is the price tag for this lovely vehicle?
Very affordable, ma'am. You can take it out of this lot today with 0 down payment and no interest for the first year. You can test drive it now and we can sign the papers when we get back.
Great. Let's do it.
Luca, I just got an email saying congrats on your new Ford Focus, and there's a purchase contract attached. Like, I already bought the car.
What? You didn't buy anything. Tell me you didn't.
I didn't. I only signed on a tablet because he said it was just for the test drive.
That line makes my skin crawl. What's the out-the-door total?
$29,847. That is not what he said.
Out the door is the real number. What fees are stacked in there?
Dock fee, delivery fee, dealer services, and a $1,995 protection package.
Add-on trap. What else is hiding?
Extended warranty, gap coverage, and something about nitrogen-filled tires? I didn't ask for any of that.
They love bundling. Then they'll say it's basically free while the total jumps.
And it also says 0 down payment.
0 down just means you're financing everything. What about interest?
0% interest for 12 months, then 19.9% thereafter?
Yep, that's how they hook you, then squeeze you later. What's the monthly payment they quoted you?
He kept repeating it's only $3-something a month, like that number was supposed to hypnotize me.
Exactly. Monthly payment talk is how they avoid the real question. How much am I paying total?
My old Ford Pinto is listed as a trade-in, too.
Did you give them your title or keys?
No, he just took photos and said, we'll run the numbers.
No number in writing is a red flag. Okay, back up. What did he say at the lot?
He said, you're in luck this month. Our 2010 models are on sale. Perfect time to buy since it's the end of the year.
Straight into urgency mode.
Then I said I wanted a new car because my Pinto is done and I'd like to trade it in.
And he acted like your trade-in was gold, right?
Yes! He was like, oh, we love trade-ins. And I felt relieved, like, okay, I won't be stuck paying full price.
That's how they get you. They hype up the trade-in, then later they lowball it when you're already attached.
Then he pointed at the Focus and listed features: dual side airbags, power steering, power windows, tinted windows, and automatic or manual transmission.
And you asked for manual.
I did. Manual. Clear as day.
Check the contract. Manual or automatic?
Automatic. And it says tinted windows, dealer installed.
So, wrong transmission and extra stuff. That's enough to walk away.
I asked how many miles to the gallon. He said 34 in the city, 40 on the highway.
And what's under the hood?
2.5-liter turbocharged engine. Trust me, it's fast.
Meanwhile, you just want a car that starts when it's cold and you're late.
Exactly. Then he hit me with financing. 0 down and no interest for the first year.
And then he rushed you into signing something.
He kept saying, we can sign the papers when we get back, but the tablet showed up before the test drive. He scanned my license and said, just sign here, it's for insurance.
Did you feel like you could say no?
Honestly, not really. It was busy, he was standing there waiting, and I didn't want to look difficult.
That's the pressure. They turned saying no into a social problem.
And it didn't show me pages of text, just a signature box. I scribbled.
That can still count as an e-signature. It's not fair, but it can.
I just got a credit alert, hard inquiry from an auto finance company.
That means they ran your credit. Did you ever agree to a credit check?
No, I never said yes.
Okay, you didn't take the car, right?
No, I left in the Pinto. It coughed the whole way home.
Good. No delivery, less leverage. Does the contract say conditional?
Conditional delivery agreement? But I never took delivery.
Exactly. Now, what is that protection package specifically?
Paint sealant, wheel locks, and theft recovery device.
So, a tracker, another thing you didn't ask for.
I don't want that. I don't want anything installed on a car that isn't even mine.
Then we shut this down. Do you have the salesperson's number?
Yeah.
Text him, I am not proceeding. Cancel all paperwork. Do not run any more credit checks. Confirm by email today.
He's gonna blow up my phone.
Let him. Don't get pulled into a phone fight.
Okay, sent.
Now email the dealership too. Same message, paper trail.
Done. Should I call them?
You can, but don't debate. Just say you're canceling and you want written confirmation.
I called once already, no answer. I left a voicemail.
Perfect. Now check the VIN.
Wait, the VIN on the contract doesn't match the photo I took of the dashboard during the test drive.
That's huge. So the contract isn't even for the car you drove.
So, what did I buy then?
Maybe a different Focus, or they slapped your info on the wrong deal. Either way, it's on them.
I hate how they make you feel dumb for asking questions.
You're not dumb. Next time, one sentence. What's the out-the-door price? If they dodge, we walk.
He just texted, congrats, come back and sign final papers and pick up your Focus. This end-of-year deal expires tonight.
Reply, no. Confirm cancellation. The VIN on your contract does not match the vehicle I test drove.
Sending that now.
Perfect.
I'm scared they'll keep running my credit.
Freeze your credit tonight and dispute the inquiry if you didn't authorize it.
Okay, I'll freeze it right now.
Also, don't click any complete your down payment links, even if it says $0.
There is a button that says complete down payment, $0.
Ignore it. No clicking, no confirm, nothing.
Another email, your vehicle has been scheduled for detailing.
Pressure. No keys, no deal.
What if they say my signature means I'm stuck?
Then we stick to facts. No delivery, wrong VIN, and no consent for a credit pull. That's not a clean deal.
New email, cancellation request received. A manager will contact you within 24 hours.
Screenshot it.
Done. I feel a little better.
Tomorrow, we do it right. Pre-approval from your bank or a credit union. You pick the rate, not them.
And we decide what I actually need. Fuel efficient, safe, manual, real budget.
And we shop around. 2 dealerships at least. No pressure buys.
Okay, I'm breathing again.
One more thing. Your address on the contract, is it correct?
Almost. One digit is wrong.
Sloppy paperwork. Keep everything.
Wait, this is wild. Their website has an incoming inventory page, and my Pinto is on it. Trade-in pending.
Wow. Save that page too.
Screenshotting.
They can post photos, but they don't own your car without the title. Still, it's gross.
It makes me feel exposed, like they grabbed my life and put it on a website.
I know, but you're not powerless.
Okay, food, credit freeze, sleep. Tomorrow we shop like adults.
And your Pinto gets one more heroic day.
If it survives, I'm buying it a thank you card.
And next time someone says, "Sign here, it's just for the test drive," you say, "Show me the whole document first."
Okay, I'm practicing that line in the mirror.
All right, so buying a new car can always be tricky. What do you prefer, though, for example, in these types of features of the car?
For me, a car must be very fuel efficient because, number one, cars are all bad for the environment, so I want a car that's less bad for the environment. But also, I really like manual transmission because, number one, manual transmission is more fuel efficient than automatic. And also, I like to have more control when I'm driving. I feel safer in a manual transition car because, you know, when you do manual, you actually pay more attention to your driving. You have to concentrate. But automatic, you can think about other things and listen to the music and
That's right.
So I think that's a safety issue. But what do you look for? I know you're really, really into cars.
Yeah, I actually prefer manual transmissions as well. Most importantly because of the way that the car drives, especially a sports car. It's definitely something for me. It's nice to have a manual transmission, but also, you know, little nice features like in the exterior, like the rims. I like nice rims or maybe a nice paint job. Tinted windows, I'm not a very big fan of tinted windows. But yeah, I don't know. Some cars nowadays, even for, as you said, politicians, they even sell them bulletproof.
That's right. They have bulletproof glass. Very, very secure. Well, for me, I don't think I need bulletproof glass, but a good stereo is a good start.
That's right, yeah.
You want to have good speakers and...
you can connect your iPod to the stereo now.
Exactly.
So a lot of great things with cars, and actually the model that they mentioned, the Ford Pinto, is a very popular but very bad car.
It was cheap.
It was cheap, but it wasn't very good.
In the 1970s and 80s, this was a very common car, and it's famous for being a small, cheap car.
That's right. Like the Volkswagen Beetle.
Yes, exactly.
Today, I'm telling you about the day I went to buy a new car. Not a dream car, not a movie car, a real-life car. And yes, the dealer almost talked me into too many features. I didn't wake up thinking, I'm going to buy a car today. I woke up thinking, please, car, don't embarrass me again. My old car had been acting strange for weeks. It squeaked when I turned, it rattled when I hit a small bump, and the air conditioner blew warm air like a hairdryer. The final straw happened in the grocery store parking lot. I turned the key, the engine coughed. Then it went silent. A guy pushing a cart stared at me like I was part of the scenery. I tried again. Nothing. I tried again. 2 hours later, after a friend helped me jump-start it, I drove straight to a car dealer. I didn't even go home first. I was still wearing the same hoodie. My hair looked tired, my mood looked worse. But I had a plan. I wanted something reliable, something fuel-efficient, something that wouldn't make me pray every time I started it. The car lot was huge. Rows and rows of shiny vehicles, all parked like they were waiting for applause. A salesperson walked over with a bright smile and the energy of someone who had already had 3 coffees. "Hi there," he said. "Looking for anything special?" I pointed back at my car, the one I had limped into the lot. "I'm looking for a new car," I said, "and I have this old Ford Pinto that I'd like to trade in." He actually laughed a little, not in a rude way, more like in a, "Wow, that's vintage" way. "You're in luck this month," he said. "All of our 2010 models are on sale. It's the end of the year, so it's a perfect time to buy." That sentence hit me in 2 ways. First, I felt hopeful. Sale means lower prices, at least in theory. Second, I felt suspicious. Because salespeople don't say perfect time unless they want you to feel pressure. But still, I nodded because I wanted to believe him. We walked between cars. He pointed at a few options. I kept my eyes on one that looked simple and solid. Nothing too flashy, nothing too expensive looking. And then I stopped in front of a Ford Focus. "This one," I said. "I like this one." He smiled like he just won a prize. "That is the Ford Focus," he said, "a very light but powerful vehicle." Light but powerful. That sounded nice. like a polite person who can still lift heavy boxes. Then he started listing features, and I swear he didn't even breathe. It comes with dual side airbags, he said, power steering, power windows, tinted windows, and your choice of either automatic or manual transmission. I stared at him. I was impressed, but also slightly overwhelmed. I knew what airbags were, because I like being alive. I knew power windows, because I've used those buttons and felt fancy. But I had questions, and I wanted to keep my English simple, so I asked one thing at a time. "Sounds good," I said. "How many miles to the gallon?" He nodded quickly, like he was ready for this test. "It's very fuel efficient," he said. "About 34 miles in the city and 40 on the highway." Fuel prices had been hurting my wallet lately, so those numbers made me relax a little. I could already picture fewer stops at the gas station, fewer numbments staring at the pump like it was a slot machine. I said, "That's convenient, especially now that fuel prices are so high." He leaned closer and lowered his voice like we were sharing a secret. "And what's under the hood," he said, "is a very powerful 2.5-liter turbocharged engine. Trust me, this car is fast." Now, I'm not a race car driver. I don't need fast like a superhero, but I do like the feeling of a car that doesn't struggle. I like a car that can merge onto the highway without begging. So I nodded again. Then I asked what he called the most difficult question. "What's the price tag?" I asked, trying to sound calm. Price tag is a funny phrase. It makes me imagine a little label hanging from the car like a shirt at a store. He spread his hands and said, "Very affordable." That word affordable can be dangerous. It sounds friendly, but it doesn't mean cheap. It just means, I think you can pay for it. So I didn't smile yet. I waited for the real numbers. Instead of giving me a clean price, he gave me a deal. "You can take it out of this lot today," he said, "with 0 down payment and no interest for the first year." 0 down payment sounded like music. Down payment is the money you pay at the start, before the monthly payments. 0 means you don't pay anything today. It feels great in the moment. But my brain whispered, "If it's too easy, read the details." "Okay," I said. "What about after the first year?" He paused for half a second, just half. Then he said, "After that, the normal rate applies." I didn't let that slide. "What is the normal rate?" I asked. He told me the percentage. I won't lie, it was higher than I wanted. So I did something I rarely do. I didn't argue, I didn't get emotional, I just said, "I need to see the full plan in writing." He nodded, a little less excited now, but he printed it. That's the thing about buying a car. The fun part is the test drive. The serious part is the paper. The paper tells the truth. Still, I smiled a little and asked, "So I can test drive it?" "Right now," he said, "and we can sign the papers when we get back." That's how it starts. Test drive. Papers. Sign here. Sign there. And suddenly, you own something expensive. Before we drove, he asked me a big question. "Automatic or manual transmission?" he said. I paused. In my mind, automatic felt easy. You put it in drive, and it changes gears by itself. Manual felt like work. Gears, clutch, shifting, paying attention. But manual also felt fun. Like you have more control, like you're part of the machine, not just sitting in it. "I learned on manual," I said, "but I drive automatic these days." He nodded. "Automatic is popular," he said, "but some people love manual. They feel safer because they concentrate more." That was true. When you drive manual, you can't be lazy. You're listening to the engine, you're watching the road, you're shifting at the right time. It makes you present. We got into the Focus. The seats were clean. The inside smelled new, like plastic and possibility. He showed me the controls. I checked the mirrors. I adjusted my seat. Then I started the engine. It started instantly. No cough, no drama, just a smooth purr. My shoulders dropped. I didn't realize how tense I had been until that moment. We drove out of the lot. The steering felt easy. Power steering makes turning feel lighter, especially when you park or make tight turns. My old car felt like wrestling. This one felt like guiding. At the first stop sign, I tested the brakes gently. At the first turn, I listened for weird noises. Nothing. It was quiet, in a good way. Then we reached a long road, and he said, "Go ahead, give it a little gas." So I did. The car moved fast, but not scary fast, just confident. The turbocharged engine felt ready, not angry, just ready. I looked at him and said, "Okay, I get it." He grinned. "Told you," he said. On the way back, I asked about tinted windows. "Are these legal everywhere?" I said. He laughed. "Depends," he said. "Tinted windows are darker. They block sunlight. Some people like privacy. Limousines always have them." "I'm not famous," I said. "I just don't like being blinded by the sun." "Then you'll love them," he said. Back at the dealership, he guided me towards his desk like a tour guide, leading me into a cave of paperwork. "So," he said, "do you want to do it?" My heart did that little jump. Buying a car is exciting, but it's also scary. It's a big commitment. And the worst part is, you can feel rushed. That's when you make mistakes. So I slowed everything down. I asked short questions. "What's the total price?" I asked. "What are the monthly payments?" I asked. "What's the interest after the first year?" I asked. "What happens if I pay early?" I asked. He answered, but he also tried to keep it smooth and fast. That's his job. My job was to stay calm. Then he tried to add extra stuff, a protection plan, a special coating, an extended warranty. Each one came with a new line on the paper. Each one came with a new smile. I kept saying the same short sentence, "No, thank you." It felt powerful, not rude, just clear. Then we talked about the trade-in. My poor Ford Pinto sat outside like a tired dog. Trade-in means you give the dealer your old car and they give you value for it. That value becomes part of your payment for the new car. It's not always a lot. Sometimes it's almost insulting, but it helps. He walked around my old car with a clipboard. He opened the hood. He peeked inside. He tapped a few things like he was checking a watermelon. Then he came back and said a number. "That's not much," I said. He shrugged. "It's an old Pinto," he said gently, "but we can apply it to your purchase." I took a breath. I reminded myself that the trade-in was a bonus, not a miracle. I wasn't going to win a fortune with this car. I just wanted it gone. While he printed papers, I looked around the showroom. Another salesperson was showing a guy a sports car and talking about rims and paint jobs. Rims are the metal parts of the wheels. Some people care a lot. Paint jobs too. Colors, shine, scratches. It's like fashion for cars. I overheard someone ask about bulletproof glass. I almost choked. Bulletproof means bullets can't go through it. It's for very secure cars, usually for high-risk situations. I shook my head and thought, "Sir, I just want my car to start in the morning." Then I remembered one more thing I truly wanted: a good stereo. Not because I'm fancy, but because music makes traffic less painful. I asked, "Can I connect my phone to the stereo?" He smiled. "Of course," he said. "Most cars now have that." That made me happy. Little features matter. Not just safety features like airbags, comfort features too. The small things that make daily life easier. Now came the part I hate. Signing. Sign the papers. Initial here. Date here. Confirm here. It's a stack that looks like homework. I read every page slowly. He waited. He tried to look patient. I didn't care. I wasn't going to rush. At one point, he said, "If you sign today, you can drive it out of the lot today." That was tempting, but I still asked one last question. "Can I think about it overnight?" I said. His smile tightened, just a little. "You can," he said, "but the sale is this month." Classic. Pressure again. End of year. Perfect time. Don't miss it. I looked at the Ford Focus again. I thought about my old car coughing in the parking lot. I thought about the test drive, how smooth it felt. I thought about the fuel efficiency, 34 in the city, 40 on the highway. I thought about zero down payment. I thought about the interest later. I thought about one more thing too, my first car. My first car was used, secondhand. It was not pretty, but it taught me freedom. It taught me how to park without crying. It taught me how to listen to the engine and notice problems early. That old Ford Pinto was part of that story. Cheap, small, famous for being not great, but still real. It got me from one place to another. It carried my groceries. It carried my bad moods. It carried my good music. So yeah, it deserved a respectful goodbye. Then I made my choice. "Let's do it," I said. He smiled big again. "Great," he said. An hour later, I walked outside with keys in my hand. New keys feel powerful. They feel like a fresh chapter. I looked at my old Pinto one last time. I almost felt sorry for it. Almost. Before I drove away, my phone buzzed. It was my friend, the one who helped jumpstart my car earlier. "So?" they texted. "Did you buy it?" I called them. "Yes," I said. "I bought it." They laughed. "Congrats. Automatic or manual?" "Automatic," I said. "I chose peace." They said, "Good, you can drink coffee and drive." I laughed. "That's not the goal." Then they asked, "How was the dealer?" I said, "He was nice. He had a lot of words. Dual-side airbags, power steering, power windows, tinted windows. He said price tag like it was a joke. He asked about manual transmission like it was a personality test." My friend said, "And did you trade in the Pinto?" "Yeah," I said. "Trade in. I gave it to them. They gave me a little value for it." "Good," my friend said. "That car was a drama queen." When I finally drove home, the sun was low. The street lights came on. I turned the stereo up a little, not too loud. I felt calm. I felt safe. I felt like I had control again. The next morning, I did one more thing. I drove to an empty parking lot and practiced. I parked. I reversed. I checked the mirrors. I tried the power windows. I tested the steering again at low speed. Everything felt smooth. Then I called my insurance and updated the information. That phone call was short too. "I bought a new car," I said. "Here is the model." That was it. Simple words, simple steps. And suddenly the whole purchase felt real, not just exciting. At a red light, I looked at the cars around me. Some were new, some were old, some looked expensive, some looked tired. And I realized something simple. Buying a car is not just about a vehicle. It's about your daily life. It's about trust. It's about the feeling you get when you turn the key. That night, I parked, turned off the engine, and sat there for a moment. No squeak, no rattle, no warm air pretending to be air conditioning. Just quiet. And I smiled because for the first time in a long time, I wasn't worried about tomorrow morning. I was ready for it.